From being one of Twitch's fastest growing streamer because of her funny and energetic streams, to becoming an alcoholic who lost all of her fame. My name's Ryan, and today we're going to look into the Justaminx story, how it all came crashing down just because of an addiction, and where she is now. Justaminx, also known as Rebecca Minxie, is an Irish streamer who started her career in 2016, posting funny, chaotic content that included gaming streams, chatting with viewers, and silly jokes.
You wanna go? Do you want me disgusting?
At first, her audience was small, but her loud personality and ability to make even boring conversations entertaining helped her get noticed, a trait that would later fuel her rise and contribute to her downfall. Her real rise began in mid-2019 when she appeared on The Austin Show and other popular events like Love or Host. These appearances brought her to much bigger audiences, and people loved her unpredictable personality, calling her hilarious and one of the most fun streamers to watch live. Her growth only accelerated as many of her wild moments went viral on Twitter and YouTube, introducing her to even more fans. By late 2020, she had over 800,000 Twitch followers and 400,000 YouTube subscribers. But everything she had built eventually began to fall apart when she let her drinking habits take over. It all started in 2020, when Minx began having frequent emotional outbursts live on stream. At first, most people didn't think much of it. Her chaotic humor had always been a part of the entertainment, so the occasional breakdown felt like just another unpredictable Minx moment. But as time went on, the harmless chaos started turning into something far more concerning. In one stream, Minx suddenly started throwing tantrums, asking why nobody wanted to flirt with her.
Why does everyone put it on stream to flirt with each other? Why does no one want to flirt with me? Why does no one want to flirt with me?
And in another, she broke down crying on stream, upset that she didn't have abs despite working out for weeks.
I don't have abs. You know, I don't have abs. I don't have abs. What? Don't lie. Don't lie. I don't. Where? Where? It's a belly button. It's a f***ing belly button.
Clips like these began circulating online, with viewers leaving comments like, "I'm genuinely worried that she's going to hurt herself." The bipolarity is so high. However, over the next few months, her behavior would continue to spiral as she became more erratic.
I can fucking hear you. I can fucking see your shadow.
And alcohol began playing a much bigger role in her streams. In December 2020, she was banned from Twitch for the first time because of Twitch's weird policy banning words like simp, incel, and virgin. Although the reason for the ban wasn't a big deal, it was still foreshadowing a career that would be tainted with controversy. The suspicion lasted only 7 days, and when she returned, she started her unbanned stream with a joyful scream.
Cause I'm unbanned! I'm finally out of fucking prison!
But it quickly became clear that she hadn't learned from the experience, as she doubled down on the same reckless behavior that got her banned in the first place. Her drinking in particular became impossible to ignore. During OTK's Friendsgiving event, Minx laid down on the floor and asked a fellow streamer, Malena Tudi, to pour alcohol directly into her mouth.
This is such a...
Malena, please, Malena, she actually can't.
Esfond, one of the hosts, quickly stopped her, saying,
No, Minx, really, she's taking medicine that she really can't drink.
and by the reaction from everyone around her, it's easy to see that they were uncomfortable with the whole idea, if not outright concerned. The clip spread quickly to r/livestreamfail, where viewers criticized her, calling her a dummy, while others expressed genuine concern about the situation. If she is on plain meds or antibiotics, she shouldn't be drinking. But Minx didn't stop there. She would continue showing up to streams while visibly intoxicated,
Show you drunk, you fucking idiot.
going as far as passing out mid-broadcast. Her drinking would also begin affecting not just her streams, but also her relationships. During her just chatting and IRL streams, she frequently lost her temper, yelling at chat members and even her own moderators.
Stop whining. How about you listen here, you dirty little fucking cunt? Ooh, no? Behave. Okay, I'll try. No, fuck you. Stop fucking whining. Okay, you fucking lose your fucking job for 7 days, you nasty little fucking prick.
A behavior that forced Twitch to ban her channel for a second time. Even her most loyal fans started admitting that something was seriously very wrong, with one viewer writing, "I feel so sorry for her. As an ex-alcoholic, I can assure you she's going through all the symptoms of someone wanting to battle with the addiction, but needing something to cover the pain." Another said, "She looks like she's going through some depression." And by the look of things, that statement was true. Because by early 2022, Justaminx's career and mental health were both beginning to spiral out of control. Her chaotic humor and drunk rants had now turned into something far more serious, and the internet was beginning to lose patience with her. The breaking point came during a live stream when Minkx laughed at a victim of SA,
and she did not reply. She doesn't have screenshots.
completely disregarding the seriousness of the topic at hand. For some context, a fellow streamer Slick had been accused of SAing another streamer named Adriana Lee, who had passed out after having too much to drink during a party. In response to the controversy, Slick opened up about the situation in a post saying, "I was drunk and anxious and my intentions were to check her pulse because I was worried. I realized that I was overstepping and I should have let her friends take care of her. There's no excuse for my behavior and I hope that she can forgive my actions." However, Slick later deleted this statement and posted a new one saying, "I've never sexually assaulted anyone and never will. I go out of my way to check on someone and I get accused of rape. This is unfair. I never checked her pulse on her chest. I checked her neck and wrist only." This tweet was also later deleted, together with his entire Twitter account. Instead of staying out of controversy, Minkx made things worse by defending him.
I was here for this, and the other girl that was there too, and I heard them out. This is bullshit.
Joking about the accusations in a way that felt cruel and dismissive.
Slick is good. Slick is weird. Yeah, he is weird, but he does it online. Like, he does it's always how Slick is. And Adriana is a clout chaser.
The moment quickly went viral, with fans expressing disappointment and anger through comments like, "Minkx has no excuse for this. People get cancelled for less. Genuinely, this is very bad." Another added, "Regardless of Minkx's current mental state, she definitely knew what was happening and is still trying to downplay it." Okay, so she always knew he was perverted and touchy with women and doesn't acknowledge touching girls unwanted is sexual assault. Minkx's mental state deserves concern, but it doesn't excuse this particular moment. The backlash was intense, but things would only get worse from there. In late 2022, a smaller streamer named Toxic Support accused Justaminx of blackmail and intimidation following what she described as a deeply uncomfortable experience at one of Minkx's TwitchCon afterparty. According to her statement, the night started off with a harmless drinking game, but quickly turned into something distressing. The game involved a group of around 13 men, where players had to drink an entire red solo cup of vodka or take off an item of clothing every time they messed up. Things escalated when her friend got so drunk that she ended up in just her bra and underwear. The crowd kept pressuring her to take off even more, and eventually she passed out, spilling vodka all over the floor. Later on, Toxic Support reached out to Minkx to explain what happened, and at first, she was sympathetic. But a few hours later, she suddenly turned hostile, even telling Adriana Lee she wasn't allowed back in the Airbnb, and warned her to stay quiet about the night's events as opening up would ruin their careers. In her words, Minkx manipulated, intimidated, and blackmailed her into silence. The accusations quickly exploded across social media, and while Minkx never publicly addressed the situation, the damage was already done. And being mentally unstable, her family stepped in and took her to a psychiatric hospital. However, soon after her release, she would be welcomed to the outside world with a devastating 24-hour notice to vacate the Optic house, a blow that instantly affected her career. And before she could even process the fallout, her personal life would completely collapse as well. Her drinking had become the only thing she was known for, with nearly every stream featuring her drinking in some way. And the more viewers expressed their concern, the more she seemed to ignore it. During one of her Twitch streams in March 2023, she was seen drinking heavily throughout the entire thing.
Bitch, 20 minutes is a long journey. I literally can't think. Me fucking whiskey! It's not even that funny!
Clips of the incident quickly spread across social media under titles like "Justaminx drops her bottle of whiskey after drinking too much," which for many was the moment things started being genuinely concerning. One user commented, "That's just sad, she needs help." And another added, "I think she's probably going to drink herself to death in the next year or so." A few days later, Twitch moderators stepped in and temporarily banned her channel, supposedly for violating the platform's rules against intoxicated streaming, a move later confirmed by outlets like The Gamer. But instead of admitting her own fault, she tried to deflect the blame by tweeting, "Twitch banned me during Women's History Month," which drew criticism from viewers who were already irritated with her behavior. One viewer agreed with Twitch's ban, saying, "Well deserved, gives you time to work on yourself and the alcoholism." But her life had already taken a turn for the worst, and no one was prepared for what was about to happen next. Just weeks after her Twitch suspension, Minkx found herself at the center of yet another major controversy. This time at the Streamer Awards after party, an event hosted annually by QT Cinderella to celebrate Twitch's biggest creators' achievements. In preparation, Minkx had purchased tickets to the event despite not being invited. QT Cinderella was aware of her ongoing drinking issues and didn't want her there, fearing she might cause a commotion. However, Minkx reached out to her directly, insisting that she be allowed in, to which QT agreed.
She reaches out to me out of the blue and brings up Streamer Awards, and I have a moment where I think, you know what, this is again a person I really have cared about for so many years. I'm gonna give her another chance.
But on a condition that she would stay sober throughout the event.
I said, "Minkx, you can come sit on the floor with all the other streamers. You have to promise me one thing." And she was like, "What? Anything?" And I said, "Do not drink."
However, it turned out to be a decision she would soon regret, as Minkx broke the promise, drinking to the point where she tried to throw people into the pool, as well as propane heaters that were around. Saikuno, a fellow streamer who also attended, said that he and CDogVA tried to stop Minkx from jumping into the pool as well, but the situation escalated so quickly that security had to intervene to remove her from the venue. And even as they tried to escort her out, Minkx resisted and dropped to the ground, hitting her head in the process. As a result, an ambulance was called, and the entire after party had to be shut down early because of the chaos. QT Cinderella later shared screenshots of their messages as proof that she specifically warned Minkx not to drink, later on admitting that she even tried everything to help her.
I have personally done everything in my ability to help this woman. I have tried everything.
But had given up as nothing seemed to work.
However, this is a person that I did used to care about, even though I do feel as though I've lost her. I don't recognize her anymore as a human.
After the incident, Minkx took to Twitter to explain her own side of this story. "That was 100% the worst seizure I've had since I was 15. I'm still struggling to regain memory from yesterday. Essentially trying to play off her crazy behavior as a result of a seizure and not because of the alcohol. But instead of getting sympathy, she received backlash from angry fans with comments like, 'Local woman decides she has epilepsy instead of taking responsibility for ruining an entire party. So you had a seizure just when security was trying to remove you from the party for being too drunk? What a coincidence.' Minkx would later address the backlash saying, 'I assumed getting drunk at the after party would be fine. Clearly it was not.' To which QT Cinderella responded saying, 'Oh, go F yourself. You were drunk before the after party. I almost had you thrown out of the show because you were yelling and making everyone uncomfortable. Completely, I've tried everything with you. Rehab, everything. I hope this is your rock bottom. Get help.' This response instantly went viral, forcing Minkx to go live on Kick to clear her name.
I do want to say that people say I didn't have a seizure. I definitely did when I was pushed over. I did see the response saying I was there the whole time. That doctor from Cedars-Sinai definitely confirmed it was a seizure.
Which also amounted to no good, as people clearly saw what happened through QT Cinderella's tweets and videos. But during that stream, she said one thing that got everyone's attention again.
"I'm not lying about the seizure. I have the proof. I'm actually going back to Ireland to get my doctor."
Making it seem like traveling to Ireland would help her adjust her life a bit. Yet things didn't go as expected, because the moment she traveled back to Ireland, she caused yet another chaotic scene, and this time it involved her family. During one of Minkx's live streams, things took a dark turn when a small disagreement between her and her sister quickly exploded into a full-blown argument live on stream. At first, it sounded like typical sibling arguments, but within seconds, the shouting got louder and far more personal. Their dad eventually stepped in, clearly worried, trying to break up the fight. As everything became more heated, Minkx's sister could be heard saying the following, implying that the drinking issues fans had been speculating about were becoming a real concern even at home. But instead of calming down, Minkx fired back with a shocking accusation claiming,
Because our boyfriend is underage! What? Yeah! That's not true! Oh no! Oh no! You like fucking little man!
The moment the words left her mouth, the whole room changed. Even their father sounded stunned, telling both of them to stop acting like aggressive fools. Meanwhile, the chat was flooding with messages begging Minkx to turn the stream off before things spiraled any further. But the argument continued off camera for a few moments until Minkx's mom ended the stream abruptly.
Stop!
Get fucking in there.
Oh my god. I need to stop the stream. I don't know how. And it says end. Sorry about this, guys.
The damage, however, was already done. Within just a few minutes, clips of the fight spread across X, with viewers reacting in disbelief through comments like, honestly, this chick needs to check out for a while. And Minkx just lost a friend from addiction, now she's on the way to losing family. Following the incident, Minkx's activity online dropped sharply. She streamed less and less, and by late 2023, her presence had almost vanished entirely. Her chaotic and entertaining persona was now overshadowed by real-life conflict, concern from fans, and a growing feeling that things were getting out of control, both on stream and behind the scenes. But the downfall did not stop there. In fact, it continued straight into 2025, beginning in a way that felt more heartbreaking than dramatic. On January 2nd, 2025, Minkx announced on Twitter that she'd officially lost her Twitch partnership. And while she expected sympathy after just hitting one of the lowest points of her career, the response was almost the opposite. Instead of support, many viewers argue that this was inevitable through comments like, "Not surprised. She has some very bad addiction issues that she needs to tackle. I don't think streaming is doing anything good in terms of helping her out in that regard. This Twitch partnership is just fueling her alcohol abuse. She needs to take all/any money she still has and use it to get healthy." And from her low streaming hours and sub count on Twitch stats page, it was obvious that she has not been earning a lot from Twitch lately. While fans were still processing the news, Minkx sparked a new controversy again. During a livestream with Miskif, she accused Amiru of stealing him from his ex, Maya Higa.
Bro, is this Minkx on Slicker's account? Minkx could be a dick, but Emiru was the one that tried and stole him. A hoe is a hoe. On to the next man with better clout. This is
Wait,
not.
what?
That's not Minkx, is it?
A moment many believed was a desperate attempt to stir drama at a time when her relevance was quickly fading away. Miskif instantly addressed the allegations.
Minkx, if you're trying to get partner back, you shouldn't attack her. You should attack me.
But the damage was already done and the backlash was immediate. Comments poured in suggesting things like, "I wonder if she was under influence when she typed that, or just a poor attempt to sneak her way back into relevance. She just lost partnership. She's definitely just trying to get her name out there and talked about again, so she be relevant again." And as the weeks passed, those claims didn't seem so far-fetched. Minkx began posting increasingly random tweets like what's the difference about the left and right, to even openly suggesting that she would do anything to stay relevant. To longtime fans, it was clear that only a miracle would save her at this point. By mid-2025, her Twitch career was almost unrecognizable from her peak years, as she only streamed a few times. And streams that once drew tens of thousands of viewers now struggled to reach a few hundred, which led to a huge decline in her streaming career. Her presence online had already collapsed. And while some creators recover from downfalls like this, Minkx's story felt more like the tragic end of a career that, at one point, seemed almost unstoppable. If you like this video, you'll probably enjoy these next ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.